Justin with PSA, and today we're going to be talking about 4 things to do when you get your first firearm. Before we get going, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It'll help you see all of our videos as soon as they're posted so you can stay up to date with everything from PSA. So first of all, congratulations and welcome to gun ownership. We're happy that you're here and we're ready to help guide you down the path of responsible gun ownership. And we're going to start that off today with talking about the first thing you should learn when you get your first firearm, and that's the 4 rules of firearm safety. Now, these are very basic rules, but it's going to help you to be safe wherever you're going with your firearm, and it's going to help you from getting kicked out of a range or yelled at out of range or any of that stuff. So we're going to run through the 4 rules real quick. The first rule is going to be treat every firearm like it's loaded at any time. So that means always keep that gun pointed down range and never point it at anything you don't intend to shoot. The second rule of firearm safety reflects the first, and that's always keep your firearm pointed in a safe direction. So that just goes back to what I just said. Always be sure of what you're pointing your firearm at. The third rule of firearm safety is going to be something we see committed time and time again, and that's keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. So regardless of what you're doing, if you're not pointed at the target and ready to shoot, keep your finger out of the trigger guard. It's always good to keep it up on the frame of the handgun, or same on an AR-15 or anything else. Keep it out of the trigger guard entirely and off the trigger, and this will ensure that you're being safe. And the fourth rule of firearm safety is going to be always be sure of your target and what's beyond it. So if you're shooting somewhere unfamiliar, just be sure that you know what's downrange, make sure there's a good tall berm there, and be sure that you are responsible for where your bullet's going even after it's made contact with your target. And those are the 4 rules of firearm safety. Always be sure that you can remember these and that you've studied them and you understand what they mean, and it'll help you have a much more enjoyable experience when you make your first trip to the range or your first steps into gun ownership. Now let's move into the second step when you get your first firearm, and that's going to be learn your local laws, especially if you plan to carry. Now what we mean by this is, check your local gun laws. Each state and city is going to have different restrictions on how firearms should be transported, or if you're doing concealed carry, each state will have different restrictions on how you're able to carry, what licenses you may need to be able to carry, and how and where you can legally carry. If you need resources to learn these state and local laws, there's a handful of websites that can help you out on that, but the one we prefer to go to is usacarry.com. So if you need to access those resources, head on over there and you can scroll down to your state and see the specific laws that will apply to you. So be sure you look up those laws and regulations before you go out with your firearm after purchasing it. Now the third step is going to be learning how to properly store your firearm. Luckily, this is made easy as every new gun purchase is going to come with a lock. So at a very bare minimum, you can insert that lock through the action of your firearm and lock it up, rendering that firearm useless unless you, the person with the key, can access it. For long-term storage, you should consider investing in a safe or a lockbox, but at a bare minimum, use that gun lock that came with your firearm and keep the gun out of reach of anybody in your house who should not have access to it. And the final step, once you get your first firearm, is going to be going to the range and getting some training. Now, this could be, self-guided training. There's a litany of YouTube resources that'll teach you how to train and use your firearm, whether it's a pistol or a rifle, or you could sign up for classes. Most local ranges are going to have beginner level classes that will help you get a good grasp on your firearm and how to use it and how to make good on-target shots with it. And they'll teach you all the basics of being a first-time gun owner. The important thing is that you don't just go out and buy a firearm and then throw it in your drawer in your house and assume you're going to be ready to use it when the time arises. Just make sure that you at least get that gun out and go to the range and have a good basic understanding of the controls and how to make accurate shots with it. And that's going to be it for the first 4 steps to do when you purchase a firearm for the first time. We just wanted to make this as a resource for y'all to help you as you go through the journey of gun ownership. We hope this video was helpful. If you have comments for beginners, drop them in the comment section below and help a new gun owner out. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe to stay tuned for more. And before we go, last thing, as always, remember to shoot responsibly.